So one of the questions that I felt deserved its own video was, how did you feel when you first found out? Before I found out, I wasn't really the type of person to post things like that I felt like I could post, because I didn't know that my depression and anxiety was real. Like, once she put that label on it, I then associated myself with the things said in posts about anxiety and depression. You know how you can send a picture to your story? People do it for anything, a picture of a cute dog or whatever, an outfit or whatever. That's what I mean. Like, I never posted anything like that on my story. And that might not seem like a big deal, but it is for me. And seeing and the question and seeing people post things like that on their story, I was like, dang, like that sucks. Like, that's real. Like, I don't get it, but like, like I always just thought like I was always nervous or always paranoid. But I never associated it with anxiety, never looked into anxiety. So it just didn't seem like part of my reality. So yeah, just wanted to say that. And I first found out, I want to say in the beginning of November of 2018, which is like less than 6 months ago. And when I went to go see the psychologist, she was a woman. I don't think that I'm comfortable seeing a man. But anyways, I went for an evaluation and I didn't really know what to expect. I wore mascara, which says a lot, because that means I didn't think that I was gonna cry, because I just didn't know what to expect. I never went to therapy before. I just didn't, I don't know. But she asked me a lot of questions. I think within like 2 minutes of me being there, I broke down. And the same thing happened when I went to go see when I went to another place for an evaluation. And then when I went to go see a psychiatrist again, it happened on my evaluation. And I think part of it is that like, it's like kind of like me letting you know, like I'm letting you in, but I haven't really figured it out, so this is just me assuming about myself. But immediately after the first evaluation, this is my anxiety that's causing me to be forgetful too, which somebody had told me, and not be able to focus. I felt like a huge relief. Like, I remember that day I went to ramen with my little brother and Aldo, and I was telling them like, yeah, like I just feel like a weight off my shoulder, and like she just clarified all these things for me, and I just feel like I just felt amazing. Like, I finally was able to talk to somebody who wasn't judging me and like isn't in my everyday life and can't form like an opinion about me. Like, I feel like everybody's judging everybody all the time, and it just felt good to like talk about it and have somebody like I just ate a tear. Have somebody confirm all the feelings that I was feeling. Like, I hate when anybody calls me crazy. Like, I feel like it's such a soft spot for me. I'll literally stop talking to somebody who calls me crazy. Because I feel that way, and I felt that way, and it's not something I can control, at least not yet. And it's not fair to people who can't ever control it on their own, you know? And I feel like people that say that word don't understand mental health and illness. And I can't blame you, because I feel like I didn't understand it until somebody told me, like, all those things you're feeling is this, and all the things you're feeling is that, and it's affecting you in this way, and it's why you do this and that and this. And I was just like, whoa, like, you know? But it just made me feel like it's okay to feel this way, and we're gonna figure out a way to help you, you know? So right away, I even like, and when I cry, it's not always because I'm sad. Sometimes it's because I'm happy, and I don't know any other way to express it. So if I'm gonna cry probably in every video that I make. And that's something that I plan on, you know, working on when I start therapy, because I want to be able to talk about these kinds of things without crying, because I feel like, and I've been told sometimes that me crying makes me less credible, and I'm like, why? You know, like, but whatever, that's a whole nother I just felt a huge relief the first time, and she told me, you're either gonna feel like super relieved right away, or you're gonna feel worse, because you're gonna start thinking about it more every day, overanalyzing the things that you do. And I was like, I feel good. Like, I feel good that I was able to talk about it, and somebody told me, like, you know, it's okay to feel what you feel. And, you know, I don't know why I have eyelashes on still. I should take it off. Oh, it's still glued. Looks like it's falling off. That's how I felt right away. And then I want to say maybe the week after I went on a Friday, the week after, I started feeling like, I think it got worse. Before I went to therapy, or that evaluation, I was sleeping a lot and sleeping in and canceling plans to sleep because I didn't really feel like being awake. And I felt like the only time things would excite me was when I was eating, and I think that's why I've gained a lot of weight. Like, and I said this to my psychiatrist a couple weeks ago. I was like, he was like, you know, like, what kind of things bring you joy? And I was like, I don't know, like my puppy now. I don't know. Food? Like, yeah, we're gonna go eat this, and I like to eat this, and then when I'm eating it, I'm excited because I'm eating something that I like, and then once I'm done, that's it, and then I'm bored, you know? So, yeah, I think that's why I gained a lot of weight. And I think me knowing that now has helped me change my eating habits, and find ways to just be better about that. Yeah, so I went to an evaluation, and I was really happy. And then a week or so after, I got really, really, really sad about it, because I was thinking about all the things that I agreed to and disagreed to on a scale of completely disagree to completely agree kind of thing about things that I do, like the way that I, like just my sleeping schedule. Like that was something that I noticed off the bat. Or me canceling plans, that was something that I realized I do, and that's because of my depression. It just being hard for me to, like, one, just even get out of bed, you know. And I was like, oh, it's my depression. Like, it's not just because I'm lazy. And I'm sure part of it's because I'm lazy, you know, sometimes. But I was like, that's like, I knew there was something keeping me from doing something that doesn't require a lot of work. And it was my depression. Like, we have a washer and dryer at the house, and it's so hard for me to get up and put the clothes to wash. It's so hard. Like, I can't explain it. You might watch this and not understand it, but that's just an example. Even like if I eat something and I'm in my room and I'm like, I have to go to the kitchen to wash this. And then the dish stays there. Or I won't even get up to cook anything because I'm like, I have to get up and make it. Then I have to wash the dishes, and is it worth it? Nah. And then I'll starve, and that was me not seeing the value in myself and feeding myself, and that's so bad, you know, like, and it's sad. So I just started realizing all the things that I was doing and wasn't doing because of it. And it drove me crazy because I was like, how long have I been suffering? You know, like, I thought this was normal. I thought this was regular. I thought this was me being lazy because everybody calls me lazy, and that I move slow and just a lot of things. And I'm like, this is why, you know? So that kind of drove me crazy. I'm using that word. But it did. It made me feel crazy. And like, crazy in the sense that, like, I just started to feel bad for myself. And I tried to figure out, like, be my own psychologist and figure out, like, where all these things were stemming from. And I just kept realizing I've been doing this for years, or I felt this way for years, or me doing this back then was part of this now, you know? And then it got worse, and I just felt like for maybe November and December, like, I slept more, and then in December, something in me kind of sparked for my career. And I was like, I need to set a goal. Like, how much money do I make? So then I started doing the calculations, and I was like, you know, I need to make more. I work really hard, and I do all this work, and I don't value myself, and I don't value my work because people question my prices, and I let them win. And then I do all this work, and at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm worth more, you know? So that kind of sparked me to work more, which forced me to get out of bed more and set boundaries with my career and my personal life going into 2019. So I said 2019, I'm taking Monday and Tuesday off because I have a lot of girls that try to get their hair done on the weekend. So I wasn't going to cut Sunday out. Monday was usually slow, and maybe one or two people would book out of the month on a Monday. So it wasn't that serious. And a Tuesday, I'd rather have my days back to back so that I could give myself time to actually genuinely rest. I mean, that still hasn't happened, I don't think, but that was my idea, you know. And Tuesdays were pretty slow for me anyway, so it was fine. And I was like, if somebody needs to come in on a Tuesday, I'm gonna do whatever I have to. And like, if, you know, if I take Sunday off or something, or another day off, or it's just once in a while, like, that would be okay. So that was what got me to get out of bed more. I was like, you deserve more. Like, you deserve to buy tickets to concerts if that's what you want to do. But if you want to do that, you have to make more money. So you need to get your ass to work and stick to your prices and not let people question you and your worth, you know? So that helped me a lot. And then in January, I noticed my sleeping habits changing. And I don't know what it was really that affected that, but January and the beginning of February, I was sleeping maybe like 1 or 2 hours a night, sometimes 45 minutes. And then I would be up all day. I would be up all night on my phone or staring at the ceiling and wide awake. Sometimes I wasn't thinking about anything, and sometimes I can't even remember what I was thinking about. And sometimes I was thinking about everything all at once, and before I knew it, the sun was back up. There's been times where I sat outside this whole time and I literally watched the sun come up. Or I sat in the living room on the couch with the shutters open and I saw the sun come up. And I was like, what's wrong? And I felt myself getting more depressed and deeper into a hole. Like, I felt like I was literally in a hole and I couldn't get out. Like, the deepest hole in the ground, and the light seemed so far away. And I don't know what to do. Like, I've been irritable for a while. I know this. And I feel bad about it, but you know, and I question decisions in my life and where I am now, and if I was happy, and if I am happy, and when was the last time I was happy. And a lot of things, you know, I questioned a lot of things, and I think suicide was so I thought somebody was gonna come in, so I stopped filming and I pulled myself together. Suicide was never something I admitted to thinking about, but talking about it now, I realized that it was something that I thought about often, but it had been something that was on my mind almost every day, like when I would stay up and things like that. I was like, this is all so stressful. Like, why can't I just die? Why can't I just die? Then I don't have to worry about this. And I don't have to worry about how me making this decision, which I really wanted to do for me, was going to affect my relationship with so-and-so and this person and that person. And, you know, if I was just dead, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I would just be dead. And I would be at peace because my mind won't be spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning all the time. And I just won't be thinking. I feel like I'm crying because I feel bad for myself for thinking that way, but it's true. That's how I felt for a long time. Every day for a while. And there were times where I was like, if I just drove up, that car would hit me and I would probably die. Like, you know, years ago, I thought this. When I first started driving, I thought this. I was just so anxious all the time. And back then, I don't know what I was worried. I mean, I know what I was worried about, but I feel like I see things differently, even more so the more I go to therapy. I mean, I haven't really started therapy, but I went to see a psychologist, and then a psychiatrist evaluated me, and then she recommended me to a psychiatrist. And they talk to you and they say things and they question things, and they ask me a question and I cry, and why are you crying? And then that's something that I'm thinking about, like, why am I crying? So for me to say these things, I'm realizing, like, dude, I'm so young and I have a lot to live for. I haven't even lived, so many things that I want to do and experience. And if I was dead, would that really be any better? I don't think so. So, it was more than merely a thought, but I don't think it's something I would genuinely try to do. I mean, not now, but it was something that I definitely thought. And when I saw the second person, the psychiatrist, I realized that I have a lot to live for. And I realized that I don't value myself and I don't give myself enough credit, and a lot of other things that don't make me think about suicide and being dead, which I'm grateful for. But yeah, that's how I felt. Right now, it's been almost a month since I've seen them. So let me tell you about the psychiatrist that I saw the last time. He gave me medication. He prescribed me medication, something to help me sleep and something for my anxiety, which I do not take. But immediately after that, even when I was talking to him, I didn't feel like I'm gonna go pick up this prescription and take the medication. And before I left, he asked me, hey, like, so what do you think? Do you think this is something that you would like to try? Da, da, da. And I said yes. And when I left, I felt good too. I felt like if I need it, it's there. And that kind of gave me a big sense of relief. I feel also like I should have picked up the prescription to help me go to sleep, but we'll see about that. Because sometimes I do still struggle to fall asleep. But not as much as, not every day. Maybe once or twice a week, which is progress. Well, I stay up late anyways, but I've been getting at least like 4 hours of sleep. So I would say that's progress. And a week before I went to see the psychiatrist 2 in 1 day. I had gotten my pug Teddy. Aldo and my mom got Teddy for me for emotional support. As a kid, I had a pug. My life as a kid, having my pug, I think was when I was the most happy. My parents were together, and I'm sure they fought and did their thing. But my dad was still my dad. He was a good dad when he was, being a dad and was there. And I didn't really feel like super anxious about anything or nervous. I was like living my best life, And my pug, he brought me a lot of happiness. And I remember, now that I think about it, I'm sure I was struggling with some form of depression and anxiety, but I remember sitting outside. I got my pug in like the 4th grade, and I had him up until 7th grade. I remember sitting on the porch, and I'm probably sad about my parents fighting, TBH, but I remember sitting on the porch with him, and he would, give me cuddles and lick my face, and he would just make me really happy. And ever since he passed away, I always wanted a pug. And pugs always brought me joy, and he especially brought me joy. And I wanted another tan one, but I got a little black boy, and I love him so much. And he has given me a reason to get out of bed. He cries in the morning when he's ready to eat, and he gives me kisses in the morning, and he just makes me so happy. And I think that he saved my life, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have gotten up to go see a psychiatrist. And even though I didn't go for the medication, I did learn something about myself, a lot about myself, and he has helped me with my own personal social anxiety. An example, which may seem super like minimal and not that big of a deal, but I didn't even like going to the grocery store. Like, I have so much like alone. Like, I don't like doing things alone. I'll never like putting gas in my car alone, but once I got Teddy, like, I wasn't even tripping about if people were looking at me or anything like that. But I go to Namies in the Valley, and it's a lot of white people that work there. And I'm a little brown girl, and I'm chubby. And when I go there, people look at me, but not to see if I need help. And when I went and I had Teddy, that was the fastest trip I've ever had to Namies. And it's because people like dogs, and I had my dog, and he was so cute. He is cute and small, and they wanted to see the dog, and because I was with the dog, they helped me. I was in and out in like 6 minutes. I have never been in and out of Namies that quickly because people don't want to help me, and I feel like it's because of the way that I look, and that makes me feel a whole lot of ways about a whole lot of different things. So that was just one example, and that was the best trip that I had there ever, where I was so consumed in him and the fact that I was being helped right away too, that I didn't even notice people looking at me and judging me and my body and my face and my hair and my makeup or whatever. And like, I felt like I could do something without being judged. And that's crazy for me to have only felt that way because I had him. So he's allowed me to do a lot of things that I couldn't do by myself. And I should be able to do these things by myself, but I can't, and I'm not gonna explain it to somebody that is going to judge the situation. He is here for emotional support, and he does a damn good job. And he's making a lot of things easier for me, and I am forever grateful because I just avoid a lot of things that I know I need to do and have to do and want to do, because my mind won't stop thinking about all those things. And now that I have him, I just think about him and I worry about him, and I'm like, okay, let's just try and focus and remember what we need to do, and not focus and think about what other people might be thinking or might not even be thinking, you know? Just get out of my head and live. So yeah, Teddy is the best. So that's why he's with me everywhere. And if you're allergic to dogs, you can't get your hair done by me because he's with me at work. He's sleeping now. But yeah, I hope this video answered that question and some.